Welcome to our weekly call. Our fearless diamond leader is off having an amazing time in Japan, which I've been watching all her stories and it looks like a blast. So happy for her to be able to enjoy that. So Kanani and I are going to be recapping the Healthy Habits Tour, which was last week, Thursday, which was pretty amazing, especially all the turnout we had from our team. So before we start, we are going to do our oily protocol here. So if you have an oil close by, or grab one. If you don't, I chose Balance today, just was calling me from my shelf. So go ahead, put a few drops on your hand. You're going to take a few deep inhales. And put your hand over your heart when you're ready. I'm doing the best that I can. I am doing the best that I can. I am doing the best that I can. All right. Thank you all for joining us. It looks like most of us on the call were at the event last week, Thursday. So how we're going to break it up tonight is we're going to start with the business section, and I'm going to go through that because Kanani wasn't able to be there because she had to go to work. That's kind of a bummer. So I'll go through the business section, and she's going to talk more about the product part of the class. And please jump in because I realized today that I did not take the best notes. So I had to kind of go by my memory, and then Tani was super helpful and she gave me a call today and reminded me of some key points. So the big picture of the whole business part of it was really talking about strengths and how that we need to use our strengths in every part of our business as we move forward with pipes, as we move forward with supporting our builders, is really looking at our strengths as our assets on how to move forward, because we all are going to be going through this journey in a different way because we're different people. We have different lives, different families, different situations, and different strengths. And I have some background with the strengths because our school has used Strength Finder to really look at everyone within our school and how we can be more of a strength-based school rather than looking at people's deficits. So I had some experience with strengths before, and I was lucky to have taken this test a few years ago. So I know my strengths pretty well, and I definitely feel like they are true to who I am completely. It's a little spooky, but also exciting. So if you have not yet done it, there's a test on Gallup, and they spent years researching all these different strengths. So it's totally research-based, and they might change over time very slightly, but what's going to happen is you'll take like a 20-minute test, and you'll get your top 5 strengths. Like I said, it might change if you take it in a few years, but very, very slightly. So if you haven't taken it, definitely go do it. There's a link that we can send you to do it online. And then I actually highly recommend you buy the Strength Finder book because, like on Amazon or something, when you get it, you'll have the book, which will reference the strengths and give you more ideas about your own strength. And then it will have a code in there for you to take the test. So it's about the same amount of money, and you get a book out of it, and I love books, so I recommend you do that. It's like Strength Finder 2.0, or they even have one that's like strength-based parenting and also a strength-based marriage kind of thing. So go ahead, use them all, or whatever one you want to buy, but they all come with codes. And the parenting one comes with a adult code and also like a kid one, so that might be kind of interesting for you to use as your kids are more like middle school, high school age. We can add those, the link for the Gallup to do it online if you don't want to get the book and you just want to figure it out right away. So yes, definitely do your strength if you haven't. I know a bunch of my teammates have just because they work with me at school too, but some haven't yet. So as soon as you do that, please, please, please let me know your strength. And same thing with Kanan and Keisha and Aisha's team, because I know we all are very curious about what strengths you all have, because we all do have those strengths, and it's interesting to see what they are. So jumping into the event, it was really interesting because, of course, Liza was our host, a diamond host, which was exciting because she's our local diamond here. But we also have different diamonds that are living on Maui and also the Big Island. So they called upon these different diamonds that are locally here to talk. So each part of it was from a different leader. So they started off with Amanda. I'm not quite sure what her last name is, so if you do remember, let me know. She lives on the Big Island. She's originally from Canada, and her part was about preparing and inviting with your strengths in mind. And so she started right off. It's so interesting because everyone was so different, which was actually, pretty exciting to see that. So many different types of people have reached Diamond. Gives us, it gave me a perspective there. But she talked about the 3 most important things and hardest things that she's done in her life, which are marriage, parenthood, and her doTERRA business. And those 3 things, as I feel we all know, are both rewarding and challenging at the same time. And those were those 3 that she just opened up with. And right away, I felt that connection because I've felt in all 3 of those areas very successful at times and also like a failure at times, or just having those ups and downs. But we just keep going because in all of those areas, we know that they're so important and there's this calling for us. So that was one of the big things she talked about. And she also recommended a author, which some people in my team had known. Her name is Brene Brown. She recommended this book, Rising Strong, How the Ability to Reset Transforms the Way We Live, Love, Parent, and Lead. So for me, I had never heard of it. I already bought it on Amazon, so I'm waiting for that to come in and be able to read some of those ideas. And then she jumped into thinking about each of us when we are preparing and when we are inviting, that we always want to start with our stories. And so we, as doTERRA wellness advocates, have to understand our own story within doTERRA and what it's done for us and what's done for us over time. So she talked about our stories. Every story has a character, has a challenge, and has a solution. So she invited us to, with the guides that we got that night, we got these really nice guides. And I think Liza might have some extra that night. But the guide, she invited us to write down our story and to really own that story and be able to put yourself out there and tell your story to other people. And that's part of the inviting process, is you're having to put yourself out there and take that risk where people could say yes and they could say no. And sometimes that part is the hardest part. So knowing your story and being authentic and genuine in how you're sharing it is going to only draw people to you, because they're going to feel that authenticity. She also talked about, it's kind of an interesting thing. She recently moved to the Big Island, and a friend had invited her to have coffee at a coffee shop, and she showed up, and it was the weirdest thing. It was actually a doTERRA class. So, it was hilarious because she's a diamond, but it was also, in a way, reflective for us, as well as being authentic, that if you're inviting someone, make sure they understand what they're coming to and make sure it's not like a surprise. So that was a interesting story. I never really thought about doing that before, but just to know that sometimes might be too afraid to say this is an oil class and saying just have coffee. So just being really true to what you are doing and saying. And then she shared another story about a friend who right now is one of her friends is totally in love with CBD oil. And so she, put herself out there, took a risk, and talked to her friend about copaiba and just gave her a bottle and said, give it a try. And so she kept reiterating that message of, you just have to put yourself out there and you have to keep trying. So those were all great messages for me, and I feel like for all of us, because sometimes it is hard just to do the ask or do the sampling of someone who you already know is maybe doing a different company or doing this or that, but just give it a try. So that was her kind of big picture. So she was using your strengths to prepare and invite, and then Liza came on in and kind of livened it up and brought her fabulous energy, and her part of the whole class was on enrolling with your strength. So she started off with her story, which I feel like a lot of us have heard, but when you hear her tell her story, you just feel her passion through it. And I don't know, my heart just always is pulled to her. So she shared a story about how she's an educator. She's a wife. She has, when she started her business, she had all 3 children in her house, and how she started and how her passion for it just kept growing and growing. And she talked about how when she just got the whole diamond recognition at our leadership, she realized it's just the beginning of her journey. And I know for her, this moment was really big. Just having this whole event it really felt like it was centered around her and our team. And so I feel like she kind of upped her game as she continues to do, which just pushes all of us to keep moving up there. But her energy and passion, you could even tell the other business people that weren't on our team were really drawn to her too and wanted to know more and more. So then she started talking about how when we first started, we didn't have all those guides that we have now. We didn't have the class guides. We didn't have the lifestyle overview, the build. We had to pull all these resources from different places and buy it from all these different companies. So now that those are out there, they're such a huge resource. And she also talked about her nap time hustle, and her kids don't nap as much anymore. They still kind of do, which I'm amazed at. But she always used to have her classes. She would go to the beach on Sunday and then back home with enough time to clean up a little bit and start her class while her kids were sleeping. So her big message was, you make it work. We find those pockets of times to do the inviting, to do our classes, to connect with our people. And then she jumped into how to close when you are, after you're presenting, then you're closing it. So she gave us a sample of how she closes a class, which we've heard before. And then she had everyone practice in true teacher form. So that's something that I do challenge everyone to do, is to practice your close. I'm pretty sure everyone on here has heard it. My close sounds very similar to hers because she obviously trained me and I've heard her say it so many times. But when you come to the end of your class, you say, now it's the time for you to let you know how you can get some of these products. You can purchase them at retail price, but I do not recommend that because you'll want to get them at the wholesale price, which is 25% less than retail. And to do that, you can become a member. To become a member, you can either pay a $35 fee and pick and choose all the oils that you were learning about today or connected with your wellness goals. Or if you want to, you can purchase one of these enrollment kits. So then you kind of show the page of the class kit at that point. The kits come with different oils that you're going to want right away. Also, they come in bundles, so it's cheaper in the long run if you pick one of these kits rather than that $35 fee. And then for me, and she also mentioned this, and she said this on this call before, don't offer just the smallest kit, because we don't want to make judgments on how much someone else can pay. And so she had a couple stories on how she had, at the beginning of her journey, she totally only offered the Family Essentials kit, which is $150, because that's what she felt everyone could afford, and she felt bad asking for more. But now we know, just offer them all, and people will gravitate to what they need and what they can afford. Always a great thing to remember for our new builders on here too. I feel like I could go on and on about Liza, but I know how well she communicates to her team, and I think a lot of those things she has worked with us on. But I just have to say, and I know Liza's going to watch this after because she always does, she just made that room feel connected to the company and inspired to keep moving forward. She walked off the stage and she just ran straight to her mom and gave her mom a huge hug while she was crying. And it just I was just so proud of her and how she's evolved in this process. And I am just so grateful that I'm with her on this team. And I hope all of you feel the same way. So thank you, Liza. I know you're watching one here probably tomorrow because you're kind of crazy like that. All right. And then Noelle came up next, and Noelle is a diamond from Oahu that came over, and she's also done one of our business calls before, maybe like 6 months ago, maybe more. And for some reason, I wasn't on the call, so I didn't really connect with her before too much, and we saw her in retreat. She's super nice, but she has this way about herself that's just so calm and grounded. And she started off talking about how important the why is. And she talked about how we always have it in our guides. And she would always, at the beginning of her journey, would write down what her why was. But for a while, she really didn't connect with it. And when she finally had a moment where she realized what her why was, it kind of just changed everything about her business and about her continuing and succeeding. So she really communicated how important it is that we know what our why is and that we connect with it daily, not just on the piece of paper. So really thinking about, what do you really care deeply about? Why is that important to you? And then how can doTERRA support you with that? And those 3 questions, I feel like I need to explore myself a little bit further. I always feel like my why is evolving more and more, and I'm becoming more clear about my purpose and that why. So, I suggest you do the same. Those 3 questions she said was, why do you care deep, or what do you care deeply about? Why is that important to you? And how can doTERRA support you with that? Then she jumped, back into some of the pipes and supporting. And so one of the things that she mentioned is, after she enrolls someone, she sets up that follow-up appointment right then and there. You have them right in front of you. So you want to get out your calendars, and she'll say something along the lines of, oh, so with your membership, you also get a 30-minute wellness consult with me. Let's look at our calendar for about a week out, because by then your oils should come in, and we can chat about what oils you got, and we can connect again. So she immediately does that appointment, which I thought, oh my gosh, that's genius, because I feel like I'm chasing people after the fact and it's hard to lock them in. So get them right there, and then you already know when you're going to be able to connect again and support them again. And then during that part of the lifestyle or overview, when you do meet with them, you can kind of figure out who they are. There's 3 kinds of people. There's going to be people who want to support their families. There are going to be people that want to share with others, maybe just their friends and family. And then there's going to be others that are in need of supplemental income. So when you meet with them again, you're supporting them with their goals, and then you're also figuring out where they are and what type of person and customer they're going to be. And of course, that changes over time, because I feel like a lot of us have changed from customer to sharer to wanting supplemental income. The next diamond that came up was, her name is Jennifer Pinter, and she's a diamond that just moved to Kula. Like she had moved the week before, a couple days before, something crazy. So she has, I'm not sure where the majority of her team was, but I do know she has a leg on Oahu. And I think she was just over there. So her big picture was finding your builders based on your strength. Hey! How is it going?
Hi, everybody.
You're awake, or is it morning?
Well,
or
it's only 3:50 over here in the afternoon, but Thursday.
You better not be at Disney jumping on this call.
No,
We just got back. I thought I would spy on you guys.
Oh, you're so funny. Well, I just
Okay,
was
I'm gonna mute
talking
my.
about you.
Oh really? Oh really?
You missed that, yeah.
I'll have to catch the replay to see what you guys are saying.
You should, because it's pretty good.
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself and I'll listen.
Okay. So I was just talking about Jennifer Pinter, who was talking about using your strengths to find your builders. So she, first of all, had us all write down our goals, which was really great because I was sitting next to two of my new builders. So I had my goal written down real quick, and then I could kind of turn to them and talk to them about it. And then she started off with this quote that I wrote down because I just felt so connected to it, was that doTERRA is a personal development company in an amber colored bottle. And that connected with me so much because I feel like me as a person has evolved so much through this business, through the sharing process, and has made me a stronger person, has made me someone who can speak up more, who has made me take risks and made me super uncomfortable a lot of times, but also very successful and who I'm meant to be. So that is so true. Just that personal development part. So keep reaching out, keep learning from others, and that's how you keep pushing yourself in that way. She also talked about how amazing the guides were. So reiterating what the other builders were saying with all the resources that doTERRA has, that we want to utilize those to the fullest. She also talked about that when you're looking for your builders, you want to find people who are committed and also capable. So as you are looking for those people, really start to notice who are those people on your team that would be successful at this, who are people that are committed and capable. And of course, you are the person who's going to help train them with the pipes to become capable as well. And she had this really silent kind of strength that came through and talked about how to get through those ups and downs of the build of the business. So she actually surprised me at first. So I was like, oh, I don't know about this girl, but I can tell that she has really succeeded and has that personal development piece that probably supports her team a lot. So I'm interested to see if she shows up at maybe one of Ray's classes, because I know she lives in Kula. And then our very last, he's actually a blue diamond, was Nick Kilpack, who's been here for about 6 months. And he started off by having all the other diamonds come back up to the stage and had us really look at them, which was kind of a little uncomfortable. But the point was that each of those 4 diamonds got to diamond on their own journey, through their own process. They look different, they're different heights, they're different hair, and the way that they succeeded was all different. And it really depended on their situation, their life, and of course their strengths. So then he went through one by one and he kind of recapped each of their talks for everyone and reiterated the big picture from each other's what they were saying. And his last message was how, of course, we always say we want to learn from our mistakes, but it's even better to learn from the mistakes of those who have already done this before. And of course, mentioning the 4 diamonds that were up in front of everyone. So I thought that was a great way to recap and to end the afternoon, which was really inspiring and definitely motivating for everyone there. Liza, do you want to add anything?
No, I really, really loved how Nick synthesized each of the diamonds. And I wish that I had my notes in front of me, but each of his big takeaways, I think that it really showed how much he listened and paid attention, even though he was the highest ranking person there. It really showed how he really paid attention and listened. And I think that that's such a critical skill for all of us as leaders. And then to be able to put other people's ideas and thoughts into your own words, and to communicate those back to somebody else. So I really appreciated what he did. And yeah.
All right. I'm going to turn it over to Kanani now for the product part of the class.
Okay, before you do, I'm probably going to jump off. I just wanted to jump on and tell you guys how much I love you and appreciate you. But I think we're going to keep on keeping on over here in Japan. So thank you guys for all showing up for yourselves, for your businesses. Thank you for showing up for the Healthy Habits Tour. I know that wasn't the most ideal day or time. A lot of you took off work, you shut down your businesses. And I really just hope that you found tremendous value in it, because I know that we did. And it was really cool to see the Central Island Living team turn out. And interestingly enough, Simone actually left me a voicemail this morning, just reiterating how grateful he was to all of us for our help, for making that event. Now, I don't know if he tells everybody this, but he said between me and him, that Maui, in his opinion, had the best energy out of all of the islands, and a huge part of it that had to do with our team. And then he asked for all of my teacher tip pointers, because he needs to teach all of the other presenters my silent hand. And Liza, tell me again how you got everybody to stop talking when you told them to. And
That's awesome.
So anyway, on behalf of him and me, just thank you. And I know Kate and Kanani, but everyone, just thank you guys for showing up for that. I look forward to having more corporate opportunities on Maui. And if we keep showing up, then we will. So before I log off, I'm going to take a couple of screenshots of the people. So right now I can see Tawny, Beth, and Kate. So give me a big smile, you three. And Zane. Hi, Mr. Zane. Okay, hold on. I'm going to switch to the next one. Now I see Keish and Kanan. Okay, smile. And who's Devin's iPad? I don't know who that is. Oh, and there's my mom, Aniliza Yoshida. Give me a smile, Mama. Thanks, Mom, for holding down the fort with the babies. Listen, I love all of you guys so much. Have a great call. I won't be able to upload it until I get home next week, but I will next week, okay? Thanks for recording it. Okay, love you guys. Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, leaving.
Hi guys. I'm gonna go through the product. I know it's it's a little late, but I'm gonna go through it anyways, because it's really, really, really good. And and we all pretty much know the products that are part of the Healthy Habits kit. And this is a big deal this month. We really wanna promote it and push it and reach out to everyone, especially the people that are kind of on the fence. this is a great kit to start with. I don't know if you guys have your paper in front of you, but the oils that they offer is really nice immune support. Speaking of particularly On Guard and frankincense, and then lemon, of course, to support your kidneys. And then the lavender and the balance, really nice to end your day. Or even throughout the day, I push it with just that anxious feelings or craziness of your day. So this is a really nice amount of oil, or the oils that they offer. And the deep blue, and then of course the supplements. So in my text, when I talk to people, I always say we have a really great promo. It's geared to the healthy habits of life, because doTERRA is on this amazing tour, and it's a amazing combination, or awesome combination, of oils and supplements. So you get to try both in this kit, and it's 20% off. And can we meet and talk more? And then that way you're just opening that door, and then you're able to talk with them specifically on the oils and the supplements. So I think everybody was there. Devin, who is actually Marcy, is on Oahu, and I think she went to the Oahu one, but maybe not the product part. So I'm just going to briefly go through some of my notes. The first thing that I wrote down is quality, right? Essential oils, it's not a fad. We're not going through legging fad. We're not going through a nail fad. We're not going through a whatever, lose weight fad. So we're going through this because we really believe that it is a part of our daily life in getting better, and just knowing our bodies and supporting our bodies and our kids and our hubbies and everybody, our whole family. So we're very passionate about what we share, the standard of excellence, CPTG. That's really important. It goes through 53 different tests. One oil, one batch goes through 53 different tests. Third party is also testing it. It's not just doTERRA. And that's, I know, the first few things they talked about. And then they went into Prime Meridian, which I'm not going to really go into that, because that's like a whole nother half an hour to an hour. And because I really could. And then sourcing, right? Where we get our crops, where we source from. Really interesting. I met a patient yesterday. She's brand new to the practice. Really weird that we connected, and she's been doing essential oils for years. She said years and years. And she asked me, because she was like, I don't want x-rays, I don't want this, I don't want that. And I'm always the hygienist, like, sure, okay, like, can we talk more? What do you feel? And why don't you want these things? And so she was saying that she does a lot of natural things, and she started with an oil company that she felt really passionate about, but found that the integrity wasn't there. And I was like, that's my word. So I calmed my hygiene self down, and I was like, oh. She's like, yeah, so what oils do you use? And I said, I use doTERRA essential oils. I'm a wellness advocate. That's my part-time job. I teach classes on the weekends. And then she was like, oh my goodness, doTERRA, I know everything about it. The wife of, I almost died, YL, the wife is my best friend. And I was like, holy smokes. So she went through the whole drama of it. I guess they're no longer married or whatever. But she just said the lack of integrity that made her switch oil companies. And she's been doing it for years. So I just thought it was really amazing to hear from somebody that I just met. Really weird that we connected. Really weird that I'm her hygienist today. And really weird that we're talking about oils and not teeth. So that was kind of cool. So just kind of remembering that, right? Why we do doTERRA, why we love it. Then they had that video that was played about the CBD versus copaiba. And we don't need to go through that again. I wanted to post that somehow. That video was awesome and just so much information. Like hearing it 2, 3, 4 times might be a good idea. I don't know if we can do that. I'll probably have to talk to Liza a little bit more if some way we could post the link of that video and you could actually listen to it again, because it's really good. Basically, price, potency, and purity were the 3 things they talked about when you compare CBD to Copaiba, which I love. So we can even do a whole nother talk on that on Zoom, because that's a lot of information. So basically, our On Guard, which we love, our protective blend, but the unconventional way of using this, sharing with people the protection of it emotionally, that was really important, right? There's also an emotional connection. Lemon and frankincense to reduce, lemon and On Guard to reduce your toxic load. Frankincense, self-care. I feel like just keeping this really simple when you share with others. Rest management, balance, and lavender. And then exercise, that deep blue. But setting that foundation is really important with our supplements. The LLV is your supplement. Your oils will work that much better and be that much more effective when you set the foundation using your LLV. And starting with a half a dose is fine. That's actually what I recommend. And then being able to work up to that full dose. I'm a big, huge fan of Terrazyme and the probiotic. The thing that really surprised me, and I didn't know because I was really like, I know probiotics, yeah, was the outer capsule. I always knew they were dual encapsulated, but the outer capsule is a prebiotic. There's a lot of research that is out there now that are saying that you need both, that prebiotic and probiotic. And I don't know enough about it to actually go off on a tangent, but I know they both really support boosting that good bacteria in the gut. So I push the probiotic a lot. Both adult and child should be on it. And then, of course, the Terrazyme, they talked about acid reflux, that it helps. 10 different digestive enzymes are in there, which everyone will lack at least 1 or 2, and that causes the bloating and the acid reflux and all sorts of other things being irregular. And I had a couple of people tell me that they felt like the Terrazyme gave them loose stool, if you guys get that as feedback. And I always just say, try your probiotic in the morning and then maybe take your Terrazyme on your heavier meals. So like if your dinner tends to be heavier, take it with your dinner because you're more active and doing things throughout the day. So you're probably not eating very heavy meals. And so the one thing I got feedback was, yeah, that worked. That was perfect. Another thing that a person told me on feedback was cholesterol levels for Terrazyme. She started taking her Terrazyme at night before bed, and she goes, I don't know, but my levels, my LDL, which is the bad cholesterol level, improved. And so she said it could have just been a combination of the supplements, but one thing that because cholesterol is made at night when you sleep. So if you're on a cholesterol medication, they tell you to take it at night, because when you're sleeping, the bad cholesterol is made. So that's why she said, I started taking my Terrazyme at night, and she felt that seemed to lower her levels a little bit. So that's also an interesting thing if you know anybody that are kind of having a hard time with that. I just want to really reiterate pushing the kit this month, 20% off. Such a great deal. I've had a couple people enroll with that, and it gets them to love the LLV. And then the other promo is if you spend 100 PV this month and have an LRP for next month of 100 PV, then you get that LLV free. Right, Kate? Yes. Okay. Just making sure. Okay. So that's a nice way to start them on the LLV. And then the back, just real quick, gives everybody suggestions if you have your form on just daily product uses. And I like to kind of go over that with somebody and talking to about the kit, and then they can also customize their own, right? If they're only doing half dose of LLV or 1 Terazyme versus 3 Terazyme or whatever. I feel like just really listening to people and listening to their needs. And this kit is so great because it's an enrollment kit and they get to try both oils and supplements. I really love that for such a great price. Like, oh my gosh, I love it. Any questions? I know I went really quick about anything, any product you're not sure of, anything at all. Nope. Okay, good. So I believe the promo's only good for me, right? That 20% off, and then the tour is done. Yeah. So we're mid-month, so we have 2 more weeks to kind of push it, 2.5 more weeks.
I'll just add to remember that push it with your current customers too, because it's a great enrollment kit, but it's great for your current customers to have on their LRPs this month because it's 110 PB, and if they haven't started on the LLV, this is an easy way because they're getting all those supplements and oils that they probably need. Plus those 5 milliliter bottles are really great for traveling. So if you have a regular oiler, that's always nice to have some little bottles around too.
I had just to throw this out there, you may or may not want to do it, but I had a girl text me that she wasn't able to make the class that we had. Something came up with her kids. So I told her, I said, if you order your kit on your LRP, I'll gift you. I think I told her I'll gift you a balance and I have points to do that. Up to you if you want to do it. You can gift another oil, but that was something I offered her and she was like, oh my gosh, absolutely. I'm doing it right now. So just a nice little gift, a nice little incentive if they order it on their LRP.
I did the same with a couple of people that couldn't make it. So I think it definitely makes them feel valued too. Like, oh, okay, yay, I still get the freebie even if I didn't get to go to the tour. Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we're good. So next week, Liza will be back. And we will be Zooming as usual, 8:30. Sorry for the post yesterday. I was trying to Zoom last night. I was getting ahead of myself. So excited. Yeah. I got tons of texts. Are we Zooming? Oh my God. I'm like, oh, sorry. Wrong day. Yeah.
That's the mommy brain right there.
Trying to get the week over. No.
Oh, too funny.
Okay, guys. Well, have a great, great rest of the week. And let us know if we can help with anything.
Oh, Auntie Sherlyn, are you taking a picture? Okay. One more picture. All right. Thank you, everyone.